today. Excuse me. Um, Before I get started with these videos, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Please turn the notifications on so you'll be notified every time I drop a brand new video. I drop videos on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The two stories I'm going to do today is, you know, one of the stories that I'm going to do in particular is a story that I have been talking about over the past couple of days, and that is that we've been talking a lot about mom's boyfriend and what role that plays in. It is never okay to bring a man that you've been dating for a month and a half around your children. It just don't make sense to do that because you're putting your family, yourself at risk. So this story is out of Houston, Texas, which takes an L. I actually watched this video on another YouTuber's channel, and it this happened less than 24 hours ago. So a capital murder suspect is arrested and accused of killing his ex-girlfriend's 9-year-old daughter. Hold on for a second. I'm going to show you the picture of the 9-year-old. If you can see right here on this side, right here. This is the suspect, mom's boyfriend, right there. Okay, so here's the article. It says, police say Kylie Soros was shot by Jemiah Jones last night in the Heights. Her mother was also shot and wounded. So this happened on June 15th. An HPD SWAT team has arrested the suspect accused in the execution-style murder of a little girl in the Heights. Jemiah Jones, 22, was arrested around 6 p.m. Tuesday in a parking lot near Spring. According to Houston police, he's charged with capital murder and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, HPD said. Nine-year-old Kylie Soros died after she and her mother were shot during a domestic disturbance late Monday night. Her mom, Brittany Soros, said the Windsor Village elementary school student was a good basketball player who loved to make TikTok videos. She was also in a program with the Houston Police Department. The senseless act of domestic violence hits home for me and the HPD family. That sweet child was a student and member of our Police Activity League program. Police Chief Troy Finner said, "Please pray for this angel, her mother, and her family." Monday night shooting happened just before 10 p.m. at a third-floor apartment at Camden Heights, just off of Oxford Street. Houston police said officers responded to a domestic disturbance call involving Searles and Jones. When officers arrived, they found Kylie shot in the head and Brandy with a gunshot wound to the shoulder. Police said the girl was pronounced dead at the hospital. The mother was treated at the hospital and later released. Investigators said Soros was in the apartment with her 3 children at the time of the shooting. Along with Kylie, there was a 7-year-old girl and a 1-year-old girl. Police said Soros was living with a male cousin who was downstairs talking to a friend when her ex-boyfriend showed up at the apartment. The victim had dated the suspect for 8 months, but the relationship ended 2 months ago. Police said they added that Soros had already filed reports against him. Jones has a criminal record and was already on a bond for felon and possession of a firearm. The cousin alerted the mother that the ex-boyfriend was there and that he looked upset. Police said, however, the suspect was able to gain access to the apartment right away since the cousin had left the door unlocked after going in and out. At the time, the three girls were inside the bedroom watching TV when the suspect came in and was upset that the mother might be talking to other men since the breakup, police said. The suspect then ripped the TV off the wall and left the bedroom. Police said the mother followed him into the living room as they continued to argue. The man asked for a phone and then became more upset about her messaging someone else. That's when the suspect ran back into the bedroom and fired 2 shots. Police said he then came back and pointed the gun at the mother's face and then made her go on the ground. The suspect started shooting again, hitting the mother in the shoulder, and then he took off in his car, police said. The mother ran into her daughters and found Kylie laying on the floor. She called 911. So his younger daughter was not injured. A GoFundMe account has been set up to help pay for funeral and medical expenses. Jones' brother showed up at the scene and said he was being wrongfully accused and has an alibi. This is the second deadly shooting involving an innocent child in the Houston area lasted 24 hours. A 7-year-old boy died Sunday night in an unrelated drive-by shooting in East Harris County. 3 teens were also shot down by a gunman and ski masks expected to survive. Now, usually I don't talk about this on my channel, but I'm going to talk about this today. GoFundMe. A GoFundMe has been set up to pay for funeral and medical expenses. AFC Podcast, I'll give you a shout out. Speak about this better than me. Why set up a GoFundMe when it's much easier to just get services such as life insurance? With a GoFundMe, you could be setting up different things such as, GoFundMe for programs, maybe for different reasons, but not for, funeral and medical expenses, because you could have put that money. I think it's sad that people put more money into funerals on a GoFundMe than when the person is alive. I just don't understand it. I think that I can understand if like going through a rough time, you can't afford certain benefits, but downtown can help. There's other resources that can help you get funds. Now here is the news video.
Tragedy at the Houston Heights apartment complex. Houston police say it's where 9-year-old Kylie Sorrells died after she was intentionally shot and killed by Jeremiah Jones, her mom Brittany Sorrell's ex-boyfriend. Police believe the motive appears to be revenge. They say Jones was upset about a recent breakup with Kylie's mother. He showed up at the apartment and confronted her as she watched a movie with her 3 daughters. The argument escalated. At one point, Jones even ripped a TV off the wall. Jones accused Sorrells of cheating. Police say he ultimately went back to the bedroom and shot Kylie in the head, execution style. Before leaving the apartment, investigators tell us he shot Brittany too in the shoulder. She was rushed to the hospital and is expected to survive. Tonight's arrest happening 18 miles from the murder scene off Imperial Valley Drive. That's where SWAT moved in to make the arrest at 6 this evening. He's now charged with capital murder and aggravated assault. Jones has a lengthy criminal record, and tonight we're learning he was out on 5 different bonds for 5 different offenses, released from jail just 2 weeks ago on June 1st.
For the life of me, I cannot fathom how this continues to happen. And this is just another example of another victim of the Harris County bond pandemic. In this particular instance, a 9-year-old girl paid the ultimate price. She lost her life.
Tonight, Kylie's mother on Instagram thanked law enforcement for making the arrest. She says her daughter loved playing basketball and making TikTok videos. The arrest personal for Houston police. Kylie was also a member of the Police Activities League.
Okay. This man was out on multiple bonds. June 1st, 2022. Out on multiple bonds. Okay. Why would you date a man like that with a criminal record? Let's take a moment and think about that for a second. Because this man was nothing but a career criminal. And that's who you decide to lay up with. This, I'm sorry, he was even the biological father, not the children. But this the thing. And I'm going to continue telling women this. I think it needs to be told. Quit bringing dangerous criminals. In fact, let's do this. Stop bringing criminals around your children. If the mother would have never brought that criminal around her children in the first place, when they first dated, she wouldn't have the opportunity to come back and cause this mayhem. This is why it's very important to those out there, especially the mothers out there, not all, but some, who would date a career criminal before putting your children first. This is a sad situation. In my opinion, he should have never been around anybody's children. The mother knew, I'm pretty sure she knew, that this man had a record, a rap sheet with law enforcement. I think she knew that. But I think that she was more worried about his well-being than her children's safety. And I think that, being charged with capital murder, especially in Houston, that's an automatic death sentence. So most likely he will get the death penalty. But I think that for the mother, I think this is a time to open your eyes and realize that you can't trust any and everybody around your children. It's just what it is. You was way too comfortable letting a career criminal on your door in the first place. And I think that it's going to be a hard thing to deal with. I mean, you lost your older child, but I think that had you not brought this monster around your children in the first place, which was June 1st, I don't think this would have happened. You see what I'm saying? So there's got to be some type of accountability. And my other probably now is thinking twice bringing him around in the first place. But they say love don't cost a thing. So Michael Jones says to go to the family, friends, and loved ones, and the Harris County Police Department. Um, I know this ain't easy. Um, I want to say to the victim who was killed, Kylie Sorrells, who was 9 years old. I want to say R.I.P. You didn't deserve to be killed like that. You didn't deserve to be killed at all. You know, I think that there should be some type of awareness. I think we need more people in the community to come and speak for the people. Start letting criminals in your door. Because when you do that, you're giving them access to your children and access for them to injure and kill and do anything they want to your children. Thank you very much for watching this part of the story. We are here to save children. This is my new YouTube channel. It's called, YouTube name. It is called Save Our Children TV. And I am your humble host, Charles. And I'm going to be on to the next story. Pull up the next story. Our next and final story take place out of Chicago. I think this is my first time speaking about Chicago on this channel. So, Chicago takes an L. Now, father is charged with killing three of his children in Bound Lake Beach. Left note for wife. Prosecutor said this happened also on the 15th, and this happened about 5:35 p.m. Prosecutors revealed new details on the tragic killings of three children in Bound Lake Beach this week, alleging their father drowned them before leaving a note for the mother to find. During a bond court hearing Wednesday, prosecutors alleged 35-year-old Jason Curls drowned the children ages 5, 3, and 2 individually in a bathtub before leaving their bodies on a bed in the home. Also left at the scene was a note that read, "If I can't have them, neither can you," prosecutor said in court. "This is a devastating case for our community, and we have resolved to achieve justice for these three innocent children," Lake County State Attorney Eric Reinhart said in a statement. Police said they were called to the residence just after 1 p.m. after the mother of the children discovered the children inside as she came to pick them up for a weekend with her estranged husband. "What they saw yesterday is something that no one should have to see," Police Chief Gilbert Rivera said. The Lake County coroner said the potential cause of death was ruled as drowning. Killers had fled the scene and an alert was put out for the vehicle, authorities said. Police ultimately found him and pursued him nearly 20 minutes, finally capturing him after he crashed his vehicle on Interstate 80. Officers said that Carroll admitted to them that he had killed the three children and said he had tried to take his own life. He was taken to an area hospital after the crash and was booked into the Lake County Jail on Tuesday. Meanwhile, a family members say that they are in shock over the deaths of two children identified as Brian Cassidy and Kaden Kills. The family member told NBC5 that the children's mother dropped them off at the home for the weekend and that she could have never imagined it would be the last time she would see them alive. A GoFundMe page has been set up to support the mother and extended family of the children, including raising money for funeral costs. This is the second story where somebody put up a GoFundMe for funeral costs. It's not hard to get life insurance, people. It's not. Here's a news article, which is
Every morning. Now to a developing story from the northern suburbs. For the first time, we're hearing from the mother of three young children allegedly murdered by their father in Round Lake Beach.
Her strength to even do this interview, amazing. Her interview happening just hours after her estranged husband was ordered held on $10 million bail. NBC5's Charlie Wojciechowski with the story.
I just wish I was there for them that day. I wish I was there to grab them before this all happened.
Through almost unimaginable grief, Deborah Carroll says she wanted people to know about the three children she lost, apparently in the hands of her husband, Jason Carroll. Her son, Brian, was 5.
He was the smartest kid in the world. And he wanted to be an astronaut to go to the moon. Cassidy, she was my mini-me. She was a Sour Patch Kid. She was the sweetest girl in the world. Gideon, he was my baby boy. My baby boy that I didn't think I would ever have.
One by one, prosecutors say Jason Carroll drowned each of his 3 children in the bathtub of the family's Round Lake Beach home, then sent them in the bedroom for their mother to find. According to the Lake County State's Attorney's Office, he left a note saying, "If I can't have them, neither can you."
The most important thing to me were the kids, and he knew that. He knew that nothing mattered to me but those children.
A judge ordered Corrales held on a $10 million bond, but prosecutors argued because this is a triple homicide, a special statute should be applied, which would order him held without bond. That case will be heard next week.
You don't know until you're in this situation that all you can think about is God and Jesus and the ones you've lost, because that's the only amazing feeling you get to know that my kids are with my father up in heaven fishing.
Charlie Wojciechowski, NBC5 News.
This is just such a heartbreaking story. Our thanks to Charlie.
okay. Let me tell you what stood out to me. What stood out to me is he killed 3 of his children, all 3 of his children, and he got $10 million. He have a $10 million bond. His bond is $10 million. This should be a no bond case. 3 children are dead. Who will get bond for killing 3 children? Whether it's a male, female. $10 million bond. I'm sorry, there'll be no bond. You killed 3 children. That should have been no bond. It's a murder case. Come on. so he can get out and do it again. And the thing is, this is why the courts are failing, because you're not giving somebody who killed multiple people no bond. He could get out tomorrow, and you know, it's because you put out a $10 million bond on somebody for killing three children. Remember, that person still have a family outside of the jail, so they could easily try to get the 10 million and get them out of jail. That's why it's important to give murderers like no bond on any case, because we don't want them to get out, kill somebody else while waiting indictment or trial in a triple homicide case or any other cases. So I think that the justice system didn't do the correct judgment. I would never give a triple homicide suspect $10 million, you know, a $10 million bond. It would have been zero bond, and he'll be remanded back to the county jail until his trial date. Because again, we're talking about three innocent children who shouldn't had to been killed like that. And it goes back to my previous statement. If you go back to our first story, this proves the same point that I was making. Be careful who you sleep with and make children by. Do a background check before you just have relations with anybody. You don't know who they really are. They may pretend to be this cool, collected person when you first meet them, and then after a while, you might sleep with them, have children by you. But then, if you think about it, time goes on, they're really not who you think they really is. You could be sleeping with a serial killer. You don't know because you didn't do your research. You didn't do a background check. You didn't do none of that. If the person did a background check, if the mother would have did a background check, see who he been with last, if they had any problems in their relationship, bingo, should have never been in a committed relationship with that guy. You know, you gotta do your homework here. And I'm not blaming the mother because the mother probably thought he was cool and collected when they first met. But you gotta do your homework. You gotta really think about who you're gonna be with for the rest of your life. And is that person a good choice? Now he deserved the death penalty. Even though I am against it, I think he deserves the death penalty. Now, they might give him multiple life sentences for he dead without parole. Now, if I was shipping him off to prison, he won't be in protective custody. Somebody who killed three children needs to be in the general population. You bold enough to kill three children, you should be bold enough to be in general population. That's why I think it's important to you know do background checks. It's important to figure out how a person acts in and out of a relationship. Um, my condolences goes to the family. Um, it goes to everybody who, the community, the police officers, first responders who have to, you know, had to walk in and see what they saw. It's a traumatic thing to experience. You know, seeing that. I'm trying to put some respect in the children's names if I could find it. I'm going to another article so I can find the children name. Hold on a second. Okay, we got it right here. We got the names right here. Um, I'm putting respect on the victims' names. Bryant 5, Cassidy 3, and Toya Gideon. Or Gideon. I think Gideon. So Bryant 5, Cassidy 3, and Toya Gideon. RP 203. Um, you deserve. Yeah, 3 deserved better than us. The father failed as a parent. And to the father, I hope you spend the rest of your life in prison or the ultimate penalty under law execution. Um, he's being held on a $10 million bond. 10 million. Absolutely not. It should have been zero. Um, Police said the murders were an isolated incident spurred by a domestic situation. This is the second domestic situation story that I've covered. The first story that we just did, where the father, not father, mom's boyfriend, who killed her daughter, 9-year-old daughter, was over domestic violence. This is also was over domestic violence. You know, I think that it's important in today's society. It's important to talk about domestic violence because it's not being talked about enough. If you're in a relationship and it's not a good relationship, it's become a hostile, and you want to get out that relationship before it turns from hostile to domestic, please get yourself out of that relationship. Get yourself into counseling. Get yourself because you don't want to be a victim and be abused. Abuse is not a good thing. So put yourself out that situation. Find something that gives you comfort and joy. Don't put yourself in a bad situation that you can't get out of. So please think twice. Think before you put yourself in a horrible situation. Um, I think that domestic violence is something that the whole entire 50 states and countries need to sit down and talk about because it's not being talked about enough. It's not being put out in the world or in the atmosphere enough, and innocent people are losing lives over it. So please take time to talk to your loved ones. Take time to talk to your children who are in relationships who are in relationships and are about to be getting married. It's important to talk about domestic violence because it's something that's not being talked about. So thank you guys so much for watching. Keep the victims of both stories in your prayers, thoughts. It's sad. No children deserve to be killed, abused, harassed, raped. None of that. No, nobody deserves that. So please like, subscribe, hit the notification. My channel is Save Our Children TV, and I've been your humbled host, Charles Parker. Thank you so much.